But if there is a favorite to finish in the top two, it would be 27-year-old Josh Davis, triple gold medalist from the 96 Olympics. Most golds, Rowdy, by any American man at those games.
You know, I have seen Josh Davis take a lot of races out very fast, but I've never seen Josh take it out that fast.
And he's still ahead of world record pace at the half. Davis looks like he's going to win it, and Davis sets an American record. He breaks a 12-year-old mark. What a swim for Davis.
Welcome to the Ultimate Swimmer Podcast. I'm your host, three-time Olympic gold medalist and captain of the 2000 USA team, Josh Davis. Here at Ultimate Swimmer, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you to be the very best version of you, physically, mentally, and spiritually, on your swimming journey. This podcast is geared primarily for those of us in the aquatic disciplines of age group swimming, college swimming, para swimming, open water swimming, and master swimming. But we welcome all who are interested in peak performance, pursuing excellence, and swimming with purpose. So whether you are just starting out in the pool or you've been swimming your entire life, you were born for the water, and you were also born for greatness. So each week we will explore the 7 core habits of achieving greatness that will help take you to the next level in your journey to becoming an ultimate swimmer. This episode is brought to you by Breakout Swim Clinics, the longest-running swim clinic tour of swimming Olympians in U.S. history. Breakout Swim Clinics has been providing swim clubs with the biggest Olympic names for the best prices with gold medal service since 1997. Go to breakoutswimclinic.com and bring some of their great Olympians to your team to help your swimmers break out. Bigger names, better prices, gold medal service. Break out with the best. breakoutswimclinic.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ultimate Swimmer Show. I'm your host, Josh Davis, with a very special guest today, Danielle Melilli. Did I say it right?
Yep.
It's a cool name. Great Italian name. Thank you, and welcome to the show.
No, thank you.
I want to read your bio to everybody because it's a cool bio. You've accomplished a lot in the last few years. Originally, Phil, and you're the D2 swimmer of the meet last year in 21, D2 swimmer of the meet in 22, and you competed Olympic trials this last year. And you just did personal best times your junior year this last year, 22.1 in the 50, 22.1, 100 free, 48.9, and 100 breast 001. So congratulations, you're the fastest woman in D2 this year and last year. So welcome to the Ultimate Swimmer Show.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, I don't love it. I don't know if that's creepy or not, but I loved your technique and how you raced, and you did great on the relays for Queens. And obviously Queens is a dominant team in the D2 circles. And that was my first time at D2 Nationals. And I just thought it was great how all the teams got along, and watching you guys and watching you in particular in your free and breast. It was just really, really wonderful. So give us a recap of what your thoughts were about this last Nationals and your best times.
Yeah. I would say going into it, I feel like I was so proud of myself after last year's Nationals. And so I'm going into it, I was a little bit pessimistic almost of, how could I top that and how could I do better? But, after the fact, after it's done and you see how your hard work has paid off, I was just ecstatic. And it was a great season and a great meet. That's
cool. And you're at Queens now, and give everybody a little snapshot of what you're studying and what a day in the life of a Queens swimmer is.
Yeah, so I'm studying biology. I would like to go to vet school one day. So day in the life, today, we're in off season these past couple weeks, but we still have crisp 6:15 morning workout. Today we had a little bit of fun. We did some fun relays, so that was nice. And then I get out at about 7:45 and I rush to my 8 a.m., eat a little bit of breakfast after, and now I'm sitting here with you. So I'll do some homework later. Usually we'll have an afternoon practice and then some more homework and then time for bed.
That's good. Well, even in the off season, these swimmers, we like to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Good on you. Because that'll pay off, because the off season gets you into a good summer gets you into a good fall, and
exactly.
Fall helps you be great in February and March. And so you've done good keeping that cycle going. So I'm curious now about interactions with swimming? Did you do other sports? What were something that your parents and coaches did well? Tell us about the foundations of Danielle Melilli.
So yeah, I have only done gymnastics. That was the only other sport I touched. I did that until I was about 7. And then my mom got a nursing job, and the drive wasn't working well with the direction she had to go in. So she stuck us in swimming. I have 3 older sisters, and so the 2 older ones had touched the pool a little bit, but not very competitively. And so she stuck us in just a club team called Douglas County Stingrays for a little bit. And surprisingly, I actually hated it. I was just scared to tell my mom because she had just renewed our month payment, and my one sister was like, "Yeah, I hate it," and my mom was like, "Why did you not tell me this 2 days ago?" So I kept my mouth shut, and here I am now, so many years later. But yeah, swimming after that has been the only thing I've touched. It's a time-consuming sport, so once I figured out that I wanted to go kind of full time, if you say, with it, that was pretty much it. I ran for a little bit in middle school, and then going into high school, though, it becomes more of another full-time sport. And so I just had to make a decision there to just swim.
That's cool. Tell us about the dynamics of swimming in Douglasville. It looks like it's about an hour, 45 minutes outside Atlanta. People are familiar with a lot of the big Atlanta teams. And of course, Athens, Georgia has University of Georgia and their club team. So what is the club team like out in the outskirts, just outside town?
Yeah, it's very tiny. I mean, growing up seeing, the Swim Atlantas and the Dynamo and things like that, my club team did not compare to that. We were just a pool, tiny pool, 10 minutes from my home, not much around it. And we, it was more of a fun kind of summer league, more of a vibe that way than like a super competitive team. And we, growing up at the time when I didn't take it as seriously as, I do now, I, enjoyed going, and I just thought it was a summer league thing. But then you start realizing that there are people there above me that were pushing to go to college to swim and things like that. And you realize it's a full-time sport if you would like it to be. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we had a couple coaches come in and out in my career there. And the coach there now, Jared Hunt, he has built it up to be more of a serious, like we're going to state swimmers. We have not just high school state, but, things like that. So it's definitely getting built up now, but when I was growing up, it was just a tiny little team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, was there something technique-wise, training-wise that you started having? Was there anything that's like, I think I could be good at this? Any markers in middle school and high school that you can look back like, I was starting to get set apart because I did this technique trick, or I did this set, or I went to this meet, and I knew that good things were coming?
Yeah, I think I would say I went through a little slump. I think most swimmers do at some point in their career. Right before coming to college, I was actually thinking of quitting because I just had shown no progress. And swimming is such a hard sport to stay mentally tough and sane in when, you're not seeing those immediate results. And it was about 2 or 3 years, but I had gotten this newer coach, Jared, that I mentioned before, and he used to make us do this set, and it was 10 ones, but they were on 120, which is like, okay. But he's like, oh yeah, you have to hold under 105 for all 10. And I was like, well, for some that's like easy, but for me, I'm like, I didn't know I was a sprinter yet at that point. Even just the year coming into college, I wasn't sure, but I was like, ooh, that's going to be tough. And I did it for the first time. We did it repetitively, but I did it for the first time all under a minute. I held under a minute, and I was like, yeah, actually, like, I think like this is okay. Like, this is good for me. Like, I think seeing my, I guess, resilience in that set was a factor where I'm like, I think I have some talent here because, I used to not be able to do this before.
That is cool. I remember my high school, to make my high school team, it was 15 100s on the 130. And if you made that, you could be on varsity. And so I trained all summer long when I was 13, about to turn 14, going into my freshman year, all summer long, try and make that set. And then finally, I guess like the end of July, coach said, today's the day. We're going to go for 15 100s on 130. And I made it. And I was like so happy.
Yes.
But to go under a minute on all those, well, even it's on 130, but definitely 120.
Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm. So what was it like being recruited? Where were some of the schools you visited? What were you thinking? I'm a D2 coach. You're a D2 swimmer. I've fallen in love with it. I just think the D2 national meet is so fun, and it's very unique. I fell in love with it, and you got to be a rock star there. So what were you thinking in high school being recruited?
So like I said before, I honestly was at, coming to an end with the swimming career. But I hadn't known, I didn't know anything about recruiting. I didn't know I was supposed to start my junior year. So it hits my senior year. And, this newer coach had to come to the team, and he's like, yeah, like you have these times, like you're going to go to college and to swim. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. And he's like, yeah, well, we're going to get you there. Like, this is going to happen. And, I found the love for the sport again through him. And so at that point I was like, crap, I need to get my stuff together. I need to look at school. So I was so late to the process. It was either, at that point I was thinking of if Queens, I hadn't looked there yet, but if I hadn't found a school, it was going to be a gap year. Yeah. And so I looked at, my sister at the time went to University of Tampa. So I looked there. I looked at Breakout, which was a smaller school, but still close in Georgia and close to home. So I was trying to keep my options far and wide. Colorado. But my friend who went to Catawba was like, you should look at Queens. We swim against them sometimes. Their women are so sweet. Their coaches are amazing. It wouldn't hurt. And so I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this school before. Let's check it out. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is actually, the most interested I've been in a school. And so I ended up reaching out. John Long at the time was recruiting, and we had phone calls. I came and visited. And it sounds so cliche because people are like, you're going to walk on campus and you'll know. And, you're like, yeah, we'll see. But then I walked on campus. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it here. It's amazing. And my recruiting trip, my hosts were Francesca Baines and Rachel Massaro, and they're just amazing. And you could tell how much they loved it. And seeing everybody do their thing and kind of a day in the life, I was like, I think this is it. So quickly made a decision.
That's so fun. And remind us what your times were coming out of high school that in your best events, so people can kind of gauge, okay, this is what she was going. Yeah.
So breaststroke, I was 105. 50 free, it was a 23.8, and 100 free was a 51.5.
Yeah. So very, very nice times, but you've dropped a lot since then. So now you're at 22.1, 48.9, and 00, 5-second drop in the 100 breast. Mm-hmm. So you get to Queens and college life, college swimming, Coach Jeff and his great staff, and all the other fast swimmers on that team. I'm just assuming it's a combination of all these things that push you each day, and you start fixing technique, you start getting tougher. Take us into that process of these last 3 years. What really set Queens apart for you?
I would say, we're a D2 school definitely, but we do train, I feel, almost as D1. We're at max hours, and I think in a way that's probably what has changed my relationship with swimming the most, because before coming in, I was doing minimal hours at home, and I wasn't really used to like a full time, 16 plus hours. we pushed for 16 hours at home, but I would hit maybe 12, 14. So it wasn't a lot. So coming in here, it was a wake-up call, I'd say. I mean, having college work to do, and then keeping on top of 6 a.m. practices, and then I have a lift that night, and then or maybe a 3:30 swim, depending on the day, and things like that. It was definitely tough. I think I was prepared for the swimming portion, but maybe not the school portion. Yeah. I was more of like, not used to so much schoolwork, but you learn how to delegate your time, and it can be done easily. So I think, I'm doing well now, but yeah, coming in, I was like, ooh, like, this is a lot.
Yeah, no, I try and warn people in high school, you sit there for 6-7 hours and you kind of can get your work done throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have that much homework at night in high school because I'd get it done during the day. And in college, it flips.
Exactly.
You're only in class 2 or 3 hours a day, but you're kind of supposed to study 4 to 5 hours on your own.
Yep, exactly.
And so I didn't know how to do that when I got to college. So I had to really step it up and learn how to sit down and get stuff done.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But what were some of your favorite moments these last 3 years that stand out to you, whether it's individual races or some relays or even something that happened in practice or your travels? What are some of your epic, more fun moments these last 3 years at Queens?
I would say freshman year, my first semester freshman year, I honestly can't pick one, but we just did so many like team bonding activities. We went to the Whitewater Center. We have like a lake day that we start off our year with. So things like that, being a freshman and introduced to a team with so many people, so many faces. That was just amazing. And it really sets things off to, get up and running. And then of course COVID happened. So last year was really tough, but I would say probably the fact that we went to NCAAs last year was a highlight. Just racing and being there. I mean, of course there's mandates and there's rules in place, but simply just being there was enough. And it was so good. We had something that we know we worked for throughout such a hard year that everybody experienced. We were like, we deserve to be here and we want this. And that was a great feeling. And then this year, I would have to probably go with NCAAs again. Conference was an amazing meet. And, we have more of the team there and everybody's there and you can see people's progress. And it is more of a fun meet than NCAAs simply just because NCAAs is, business. Like we're there to get things done. Yeah. And conference is when you can really, we wore fun glasses. We were wearing beads, we're cheering like maniacs. It's such a fun time. But yeah, this year was, I think, so far my favorite year, which is big to say, but I think it's been amazing.
When you won the 50 and 22-1, what was anything in that race felt different, felt better? Like, yeah, I'm in the zone, I'm doing it. What can you take us through that race and anything that was unique about it?
Yeah, definitely. I have first day jitters, like insane first day jitters. I am not nervous, but I'm excited. And I think for that race, that's so necessary because it is just down and back and you need to get up and go and you need your heart rate up already. And so I would think like right beforehand, so many of our sprint squad is what we call ourselves, but we were all in the 50 and it's such an exciting race. And so I think, my adrenaline was up. I was pumped. I was ready to go. I was probably like shaking beforehand. I was so excited, but adrenaline definitely was going. It's a racer. You don't feel it until you get 30 seconds after you get out. And then you're like, oh yeah, I just swam and used my muscles. You don't feel it during it, Yeah. And so during the race, honestly, I'm not sure if I really remember during, but afterwards, I would say I was definitely shocked and obviously proud. But yeah, we really worked on my tempo this year, so that was probably a huge factor in that race.
Well, speaking of your stroke and tempo, oh, by the way, did
I breathe in the 50?
One breath or 2 breaths? Did you take 0 breaths or one breath?
Yeah, I always take one on the way back.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, when I was watching your technique, I watched you for the first day winning, and I was like, wow, that was really cool. Just the way you had the least amount of splashing, least amount of strokes, but you're going the fastest. And I'm like, oh, it's so fun to watch. So I went up to Jeff and I said, Jeff, Danielle's swimming so pretty. Do you do something with her stroke? And I said, well, we really work on the head position. And, you know who she swims like? And I says, who? She swims like Madison Kennedy. I was like, oh yeah, of course. That's what it was. Known forever and ever. I was like, yes, y'all do swim very similar. The head's real still, arms are really flowy, just a great body line and great line, streamline throughout the whole stroke. And I was like, that's exactly it. So anyway, he said, you do a lot of the, chin, he called it the double chin drill, where you're just kind of keeping the head real neutral and keeping the body line real good and the core real strong. And so tell us what you're thinking about in your drills and your progression and your technique the last few seasons to get that nice line.
Yeah, I am a perfectionist. So, if we're given a drill, I want to do it correctly. I think I'll find myself going last in a lane just because I am so particular in how I'm doing it and I want to make sure it's correct. And so I feel like that feeds into so much into my stroke and into my races because I'm repetitively doing it over and over at the best effort that I can. But yeah, I don't think much of a race while I'm doing the drill, but I definitely think of the water and how I'm grabbing it and how it feels. I think it's hard to explain outside of the water, but yeah, it's more of just grabbing and making sure I'm using each part of my body to the best of my ability to just grab the water.
Yeah. And that's an important quality to have in an ultimate swimmer. You've got the feel, you're able to position the hands and the forearm and the body and couple that together. And while keeping the resistance minimal, holding that line, all those things come into play and it really sets you apart. And I noticed that right away when you were swimming. Do you have a favorite drill that you could share?
Yeah. I would say, a favorite. My top two, because I can't really choose, probably underwater recovery. And so you're just body position and you're, the motion underneath. But that catch in the very front, you can feel that immediately if you swim right after. And that's one of the best feelings because I'm like, I know this drill is working because I feel it right away. And then we have almost 11, which is just hands are up above your head like an 11. If you wrote down the word 11, that's what or the number 11, that's what you would look like. But yeah, it just works on that body position. But yeah, those are my top two. I think underwater recovery is probably my favorite though.
So when you say underwater recovery, you're swimming freestyle about 3-4 feet under the water?
No, so you're on top of the surface, but you're just, let's see if I can do this. You're just working your hands here. So it's kind of a skull in a way, but you're bringing your down and up.
It's like doggy paddle.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of a short motion though, you're just like a full body.
Yeah. Well, for a couple of years, Caleb Dressel's favorite drill was that drill. And he had two.
Oh, really?
He had short dog and long dog. Short dog, you're only going about half all the way back by the thigh, and you're extending the full way. So it's like a long doggy paddle and a short doggy paddle. And he called it long dog and short dog. And
I like that name better.
Yeah. So for years, those were his favorite drills. He has a new one now. It's kind of an advanced catch-up drill that he does. But that's cool. Thanks for sharing those. And
Yeah.
do you have a favorite breaststroke drill?
We do 2 strokes, just regular on top of the water, and then we go underwater and do 2. So just 2 up, 2 down. Again, it's just about the feeling of the water when you're underneath that catch, and then you can come up and feel that catch just on top of the surface.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Any other breaststroke freestyle tips that you can share with the listeners? Anything you're thinking about a lot that has really, really helped you?
I would say for freestyle, kind of what you mentioned earlier, that rotation. I used to do a drill when I was young where I would look down at the black line and, position my body so my arms are skimming, my thumb would be skimming just outside of the black line on both sides of it. Yep. And it's a way to make sure you're not crossing over. Your head is staying still because you're looking down at that line. But yeah, you're not always in the middle of the line middle of the lane unless you're racing, but it's still very helpful. And then breaststroke. I would say Coach John Lau right now, he makes us do a lot of breaststroke pull with a donut on our feet. And I would say, if you want to get stronger on your catch in breaststroke, do some breaststroke with a donut. It hurts, but it's worth it.
Eddie Reese, my Texas coach, made us do that all the time. And we hated it.
We're all like, no, not the donuts.
Yeah, we called ours the tubes because it's like a black rubber inner tube.
Yes, yeah.
And sometimes you can fold them or you can fit your legs in it, no problem.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Gosh, I hated those. But It is good for you. That's cool. What are your goals looking forward? Do you think you'll stick around? Obviously, maybe race next year for Queens as your senior year. Do you think you might stick around for Paris trials?
Yeah, I think I would like to. Just last year, my experience was sort of rushed, I feel like, just because it happened so quickly. And so I feel like this time I kind of have the thoughts lately that I want to do it right and I want to do it well. And, I'm young and I have this opportunity to try. So why not take it while I can? So I think I probably will. I got to talk to Jeff about that one, though.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, my first trials, I was, just trying to soak it all up. I was kind of freaked out. It's like, what just happened? And it's certainly awesome. But my next trials, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go really do this right. Just like you said, it's like, I want to, now I know what I'm getting into and I really want to attack it well. Whether I make the team or not, I don't care. I just want to do it well and really enjoy it and really maximize it.
Exactly.
It's hard to believe we're just over 2 years away. So
I know, it's crazy.
Well, again, I just really enjoyed watching you this last NC2As, and Swimmer of the Meet was totally appropriate. So congrats on those wins. I would like to do just a quick lightning round of your favorite things so the listeners can get to know you. So real quick, let's take just a couple minutes. What's your favorite event?
50 free.
Very good. Favorite pool you've ever swam in?
Probably Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's right. I swam in the Olympics there. It's a great one. What's your favorite city you've ever visited, like as a swim meet or tourist?
Ooh, I just recently went to Boston. That was fun. I liked it there.
Yeah, Boston's fun. Downtown's fun.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Turquoise.
Nice. Favorite food?
Probably pasta.
Nice. Does being Italian, does family cook really good? Does your mom or dad?
My dad does really well. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Do you have a favorite dessert?
Oh, that one's so hard. Probably cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah. Favorite movie or book?
Oh, geez. When's the last time I watched a movie? I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
It could be book or movie. Favorite,
Well, the book I'm reading right now is Queen's Cage. It's not my favorite, but it's a book.
That's cool. That's good. Do you have a favorite genre of music or pump up music before your race or anything like that you like to listen to?
Before my race, it's usually rap music, but mainly pop.
Yeah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite movement in the weight room? Do you have a favorite lift or favorite dryland movement?
Favorite dryland movement is probably row to T holds on the TRX. Again? So they're like, you row up on the TRX and then you hold it on your way down.
That's good. That's good.
Burns.
Well, I'm so glad we got to know you better. Thanks for that lightning round of your favorite thing. And you're one of my favorite swimmers. So
thanks.
Keep it up. And what's the next meet for you? Do you think you'll race this summer? Well,
there's the Phillips 66 in a couple weeks. The 30th,
yeah,
I think. Yeah, I think I'll go do the 50 free. I have finals that week, so I'll only be able to do the Saturday. But Coach Nick wants to see me in that, so I think I'll just do it more for a fun thing. But I'll swim this summer too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good luck at Greensboro Trials, and good luck next year. And thanks for being an ultimate swimmer. Have a great season, Danielle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us on this Ultimate Swimmer podcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing from these Olympians and life champions and how certain habits and decisions help them on their journey, and they can help you too. If there is an ultimate swimmer from your team that you would like to nominate that we can recognize on our show, just email me at josh@joshdavis.com. That's josh@joshdavis.com. And tell us about how your ultimate swimmer is making a difference in your swimming community. And that's the goal, to make a difference and swim with purpose. Not only are you getting better, but you're helping those around you get better too. When you realize you were born for the water, born for greatness, and born to serve others, you are on your way to becoming an ultimate swimmer. I'm Josh Davis. Until next time, keep streamlining and keep smiling. See you around the pool soon.